Hey, what's up? This is Dahlia, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
I'm still kind of like living off of the high of listening to the record from a couple of weeks ago. But let's talk about that debut single from the album. Tell me why this one out of the entire record you chose to be the first listen, because the whole record was a banger.
This one felt just really good. I think every time I played it, it just it never got old. It just like felt like such a vibe. Yeah. It was actually originally called Friday Night Vibes because it was just a vibe that we started in the studio as kind of like a jam. And so we kind of just decided to go with this one first. And it is kind of different from what I've done before. So it was kind of this introduction to a different sound.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like that it kind of throws you back to like the 90s sound in a way. Is that something that you were specifically going for this record, or it's just something that happened naturally for you?
I think it just happened naturally, yeah. I don't know. We didn't totally plan it. We would just go into the studio and just jam stuff out, and whatever felt good to us, we just played off each other and built from there.
Right.
Yeah.
And on this track, I know Paulie A co-wrote it with you.
Yeah.
And you've done a lot of stuff with her in the past. How did that collaboration really start out with you guys from the beginning on your first record when you guys first co-wrote?
We met through someone in the studio, and then we started writing together ever since then, and then we just became super tight, and now she's like my best friend. And we're going to Disney on Sunday, so no, but she's someone that I just always really enjoyed like writing with. We just kind of get each other and we have a lot of fun, and when we work together it doesn't really feel like work. So with this particular album, I would honestly just invite her to the studio just to come hang, and if she wrote 2 words, cool. If she didn't write at all, cool. We were still hanging. If she wrote the whole thing, it's just kind of a natural thing with her and I. But, yeah.
What is it about her writing style? Because I know you've worked with a lot of co-writers in the past, but what is it about her writing style that really caught your attention to bring her back for like another session? Because I think this is like the 3rd time you guys have written something together, right?
No, we've written together for my stuff. We've written like a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've written for almost, I think, like 4 or 5 years together.
Wow.
At this point, we've known each other for 4 or 5 years, and like I said, we met like as writing, just like in a writing session, and then we just became super tight. And honestly, it's just her. First of all, Paulie A is she's super intelligent. She has crazy like wordplay. She has great melodies, and she's not afraid to express her opinion. So with me, I don't really have an ego when it comes to like writing. Right. So I appreciate someone that's just like, that's stupid. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then we just make jokes, and we laugh the whole way through, and we kind of just, I don't know how to explain. It's just, it is what it is. We just have good chemistry. Right. Yeah, there's no ego. I think maybe that's the key. Okay. There's no ego. And we're always just like, yeah, we just want to make the best song, and whatever works.
Body and Soul and Sirens, I don't know if it's still the same names for those tracks, but those were like seriously the ones that like stuck out to me the most. Can you talk a little bit about those 2 tracks?
So Body and Soul and Sirens. So Sirens I'm actually about to put out, or working on a video for it. But that was like, Sirens was just a turn up. I mean, it was just about kind of like creating a whole vibe and mood that we were kind of feeling in the studio. There were like a few people in the studio, like drinks was flowing, and J-Rock just played this track, and I kind of went in the booth, and I just, for whatever reason, just blacked out and started just singing like a siren, like the sound of a siren. Yeah. And actually that take is the original take, the very first take of me just freestyling going in, and we just kept that take and kept it on the song. And then Body and Soul is a song I wrote like almost a year and a half ago, actually, like January of 2016 I wrote, to just like this guitar. And it was kind of just like, I don't know, this like moment. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. It took me a long time to write also. Yeah. It took me like a few days to write it and to get it like exactly how I wanted it to be. But I didn't end up recording it till like a year later.
And as you wrote like the material on this record, how many was there a specific song that really took the most like like you trashed it and then you brought it back, or you like you retransformed, like rewrote it many times? Is there one that sticks out to you that like was probably the hardest song to get out?
Yeah, I think Body and Soul was not hardest, I don't know, but definitely the most meticulous. Like I definitely took my time with it, and I enjoyed writing it. And it was one of the few songs on the album that I just wrote completely kind of like by myself. Like literally nobody was in the room. It was just me kind of writing to a guitar, playing over and over again, and just like getting in that story and staying in that story for a couple days and trying to find the exact right melody that I wanted and all that stuff. So I think that one took the most time. Yeah.
And with this record, like what was so different this time around when you went into the studio? What stuck out to you the most?
It was different in the sense that every day I'm going into the same studio with the same guy, J-Rock, and we're sitting down and we're just making music and trying to have a good time and see what happens and try to birth a baby, you know. And the last album, I was kind of working with a lot of different people, doing a lot of different sessions, writing with so many different people. It was kind of spread out. This time it felt kind of more contained, and we were able to kind of create something, you know, from something else, like build up to something. So, and it was fun. Oh my God. I mean, it was so fun. I had
You hear it with what we've heard.
It was really, really fun. I had a really good time. So yeah, and you hear it like in the music for sure, you know. It was inspiring for sure.
Now, what's it like going into the studio with J-Rock? What kind of producer is he? Is he one that really always challenges you on everything that you're doing? Is he more relaxed in the studio? Like, what's that like?
J-Rock, so I'll come in the afternoon, and then he'll come in late in his gym clothes. And, you know, we'll pop open a bottle of, like, Grand Patron or 1942, and I'll make him a glass, and I'll swish around his ice cubes, and I'll give him his glass. We cheers. You know, we like, ease into the session. You know, we talk shit. You know, maybe a song comes out of the talking shit, maybe not. Football's playing in the background, muted. And, you know, we bring up some fruit. There's a lot going on. We bring some fruit up, start munching on a couple watermelons. And we kind of just ease into it. And, you know, he'll maybe touch something on the keyboard, and I'll bring out a mic, and we'll just kind of start vibing. And it just, sometimes it happens slowly. Sometimes we don't get into it because we're also homies, so we'll just be talking shit for like a few hours. Right. And we won't get into it till 1 a.m, or we start right away. He plays me something, I'm like, holy shit, and I just start writing. It always depends, but he is one of the most musically gifted people I think I've ever met, and it was just, it's amazing to watch him just create right there on the spot, you know? I mean, working with him was challenging in the sense that I wanted to show up for him, because to me I see him as someone of like an amazing kind of like up there caliber. So I just wanted to show up. So in my mind, I was challenging myself, I guess. But he did challenge me too, for sure. He's definitely like a band leader. He's that band leader type that's like, but also an incredible collaborator. I can't talk enough about J-Rock. He's the best. And also, just like on the personal tip, just the most humble, just genuine dude you'll ever meet. So yeah, it was awesome working with him. Like I said, I had the best time.
A Naked Lady and a White Horse. Why is this the title for the album?
So when we started making some of the songs, I was really inspired by the stories my dad would tell me when he would go to like Studio 54. And like back in the day when my mom used to go out to the clubs in Miami, like in the late 80s and 90s, right? So I was kind of inspired by the sounds, like Friday Night Majic has like some inspiration. My dad told me this story about a naked lady on a white horse, and it always stuck with me. This kind of like whimsical, mythical story about this legendary naked lady. And so I decided to name the whole project that, because I feel like it was kind of the cornerstone to like the whole process of creating it.
Right. Now this album, does it have a date yet for release?
End of June, early July.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then tour dates, can we expect some touring, maybe some shows for you anytime soon? I know you're doing Pride, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do Pride on the 10th, and then we're working on dates and shows for summertime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when reading stuff about you, I kept seeing a lot of people say Cat Dahlia is back from hiatus. Okay?
Right.
Would you say it was a hiatus, or you were just working on an album?
I took a break. I definitely took a break. I took like a year and a half off, I think. But I needed to do that for a lot of different reasons. And then, yeah, I've been working on the album for the last year and a half. So it's a little bit of both. But I never saw myself as taking like a hiatus.
Neither did I. That's why I was a little bothered when people would say that. And I'm not even the artist.
I always knew I was going to like go back to doing it. It's not like I like went to Africa and disappeared forever. Yeah, no, I just took like right after releasing my other album, I took like a year and a half off, which I feel like sometimes artists need to do, yeah, to just get re-inspired, live some life, and then come back. Right. And then I started writing again about a year and a half later. Yeah, so hiatus, I guess. Maybe that sounds cooler. I don't know.
Now, I know in the first record, Hans Zimmer is actually on the writing credits. Did you actually write with him on the first record? Like, I know it was sampled in there, but he was still in the credits. I wasn't sure if like you actually sat down with the dude.
Yeah, because the dude needs his credit. He wrote the thing. No. So it's so funny. Someone sent me that, and I thought it was a real track.
Right.
And it turns out it was from the end titles of like
I can't remember what movie it was, but yes, yeah.
The Dream movie. What's the Dream movie called?
Looking out right now. Inception. That's what it was.
So I ended up writing this song to it. I had it for like mad long, and I was playing it for people, and they were like, "Oh my God, this is awesome!" I was like, "Yeah, cool." Who's the producer? I'm like, no idea. So for mad long, we had no idea who had written this. I tried reaching out to the person who had sent it to me originally. Yeah. They ghosted. I was like, I don't know what to do with this thing.
And then on Napster.
Dude, finally someone was like, yo, this sounds like the end credits to Inception. I was like, no. Dude, we watch it. I'm like, oh, shit. And now it's so funny because I hear it like everywhere. Charlie Chaplin monologues, they put that title track to the back of it, and it's all over the place. I'm like, how did I not see this before? But no, I've never worked with him, unfortunately.
That definitely would have been a story, an experience.
That would have been a story. This story was way.
Well, I mean, this one was still a great story.
It's like, someone sent me a track, and I wrote it.
It's all good. So for those fans that haven't heard the record yet, why should they go ahead and give this new record a chance?
I mean, honestly, this is like my second baby. You know, like I spent a good time on it. You know, worked really hard on it, and hopefully it reaches people in a certain way, and people take from it whatever it is that they need. You know, like that's I feel like what music is. Take from it whatever it is that you need. I don't know exactly what people's issues are, how they want to feel, but hopefully there's something in there that they want to feel, and I'm able to provide them with that feeling.